Hi guys. So today we will discuss about gateway endpoint, VPC peering connection, and transmit gateway. Okay. So we'll quickly go into definition of what is gateway endpoint is. So gateway endpoint allows secure private connection from your VPC to AWS services like S3 and DynamoDB without using the internet. Okay. So in my previous video, I have explained about interface endpoint. Okay, so there, if you want to connect AWS services and VPC, VPC means in VPC we'll be having uh, instance. Okay, so if you want to connect this instance with the AWS services means we use either internet gateway or NAT, or there was one more. If the traffic is should not expose the internet means then we'll go with interface endpoint. Just like that, we have one more concept that is gateway endpoint. So this also will do the same functionality, like it will allow secure private connection, okay, from your VPC to AWS services dedicatedly for S3 and DynamoDB without using the internet. Okay, so how it works? So gateway endpoint are added to VPC route table, creating a direct path to S3 or DynamoDB using the AWS private network. Okay, so in this AWS private network, right, what happens? We use one route table, VPC route table. So in this route table, we'll create a direct connection to S3 or DynamoDB using AWS private network. Okay, private network means private subnet. Yeah, I mean private IP. Yeah. So what is the benefits we'll see? By keeping traffic of the internet gateway endpoint improves security and reduce costs as there is no need for public IPs or NAT gateways. Okay. So here we don't use any public IPs or NAT gateway or internet gateway. So what happens? There is no cost involved. We don't need to use any external NAT gateway or like anything. Okay. So we by keeping traffic of the internet, we not using the internet because communication will happen within the AWS network itself here. Okay, use case. If instance in a private subnet need access to S3, a gateway endpoint is the ideal solution to ensure a secure private connection. Wherever if you want to like connect S3, or DynamoDB, very secure, then we go with this gateway endpoint without if we don't need any internet or not. So that time. Next, VPC peering connection. So in VPC peering is a direct connection between two VPCs. Okay. So here we allow them to communicate as if they were in the same network. This works well for one-to-one connection between VPC. For example, we have VPC 1 and VPC 2. Okay. If we want to make an one-to-one connection between the VPC, then we use this VPC peering connection. As you can see in this diagram, here we have VPC A and VPC C. So we have one private subnet, here one private subnet. If we want to make connection between these two instances, then we use VPC peering connection. So how it works? VPC peering uses private IP address, to establish a connection between VPC in the same or different AWS region. If it is same or different region, we use a private IP address for this, and we'll establish a connection. Okay. So what are the benefits? It provides a simple low latency connection with no single point of failure. It's also cost effective as it only incurs standard data transfer charges. Okay. So it will only cost for data transfer charges. Okay. And it provides a low latency connection. Low latency means it's more faster. The response is quicker. Okay. That's what low latency means. Okay. So low latency connection with no single point of failure. So next we'll see use cases. So VPC peering is ideal when you have two VPC. For example, a developer development VPC and a production VPC that need to share resources securely and privately. For example, if we have one VPC for development and another VPC for production, okay. So if we want to share resources, so that time we go with this VPC peering, okay. Then finally we'll see what is transit gateway. So this transit gateway acts like a central hub for connecting multiple VPCs and on-premises network. It simplifies the connection architecture by connecting everything to a single gateway. For example, you see here we have VPC peering. We have one VPC and we have one more VPC. Okay. So if we want to make it multiple VPC connection, right? So this is very complicated. If you see here, I mean, here we have one VPC, here we have a PC. Here to make connection, right? We use one VPC peering. Again, if I have multiple VPCs, right? What I use this one VPC. This again I have to establish. I have to keep one component that is VPC peering. So this will be very complex. Okay, so to eliminate that, we use this transit gateway. So this transit gateway is something like, mm, okay, wait, I will explain you in simple. Mm, okay. See, we have one, it's consider as this is a transit, I mean one central hub. So this connection is, is what I will do is I will form multiple VPCs. VPC, here one VPC, here one VPC, and here one VPC. So this is a central hub. So here these two VPC have to communicate, right? So this will communicate via this central hub. So it's nothing but uh, transmit. Okay. So this is how it works. So what are benefit? Instead of creating multiple VPC peering connection, you connect each VPC and on-premise network transit gateway. So instead of making the multiple peer connection, right? So we use this one central hub to communicate between the VPCs in a private subnet. Okay. So benefit is it scales to large support large complex networks and eliminates the need for managing multiple VPC peering connections. Okay. So it also allows for better organization and easier management of multi-region, multi-VPC environments. Okay. So we'll see use case. Transit gateway is ideal for large organizations with multiple VPC and on-premises networks that need to communicate, such as central office connecting to branch office VPC. For example, if in an organization, okay, we use multiple instances, right? Multiple machines. So if you want to connect all the machines together, right, then we will go with this transmit. Okay. So in summary, gateway endpoint is used to connect your VPC to specific AWS services. Okay. VPC peering connection is a simple one-to-one connection between two VPC. Transmit gateway where it will use a central hub for connecting multiple VPC. That's it. Okay, guys. Um, this is all about gateway endpoint, VPC peering connection, and transmit gateway. So in the next video, we'll see more about VPC concepts, networking of AWS. Thank you.